Hey, it's Aaron from GameEnthus.com, and this one is about Lots Filled In. Lots Filled In is a roll and write. I believe it's a follow-up to a game called Lots, which was also, I believe, published by Royal N Games. So Lots Filled In has been designed by Zach and Rose Connelly, with art and graphic design from Claire Donaldson and Christina Pittre. I feel like I should have asked first, but here we are. Sorry, Christina, if I mispronounced your name. So, Lost Filled, as I said, is a roll and write. This is a prototype version, so the components are not necessarily indicative of the final product. It is playable from 2 to 4 players. There is no explicit single player solo solitaire mode, but you know, you can Jurassic Park it. Maybe find a way. Anyway, that's beside the point. It's 2 to 4 players officially. Lots filled in. Let me show you what comes in the box. So these are the components for Lots Filled In. You have a scoring sheet that every player would get. This is one filled in. I'll explain how it works later. You have a set of colored pencils to represent the different colors and shapes, and then 4 pencils to write in numbers and things like that. I'll do that as well. You also have a pencil sharpener. Now, I'm not certain if the final game will come with a pencil sharpener. Let me see. Yes, 1 sharpener. However, just let me reiterate, well, I haven't said it yet. Let me say initially that I highly recommend, and I also think that Royal N Games would recommend this as well. They haven't spoken to me about this directly, but I'm pretty sure they would concur that if you insert the pencils into this, I'm going to turn it this way. Just keep up with me now. If you insert the pencil to sharpen it, as you can see, the blade is facing me. If I turn the pencil away from me in this direction, this is kind of weird. These shavings will very quickly fill up this small receptacle area. So I feel like it's worth saying that I recommend that you hold this over some sort of waste receptacle, because it's going to fill this area fairly quickly, and it could fall onto a table, onto the floor, or if for whatever reason somebody was underneath you while you were doing this, maybe someone's eye. So you want to be careful with that, and that's my little PSA here. So I am on a soapbox as I say this because it's serious. So hold this over something so the shavings don't get everywhere, because no one wants that. I think I made that dramatic enough. You also have crew cards. They would not be laid out like this. You would shuffle those up. Each player would get one. These are one-time use cards. You can use their ability, and then that's it. You put the card away, and the crew member has done whatever their job was. So just for a couple examples, the trainee lets you pick out of turn. I also haven't shown the dice. Probably do that. This dice tray also does not come in the box, nor does this mat that everything is on top of, just in case you were wondering. Yeah, I'm weird. So these 9 dice also come in the box, so that they're very key to playing the game, and they roll and write. You have to get that something wrong. You can't really roll the sharpener. Oh, look at that! I won. You can't really roll the sharpener, so just saying. So the trainee. So on a normal turn, the lead player would roll and be the first to pick a die. The trainee can pick out of turn, but then they're skipping their draft for their next turn. The architect here can play a die for its shape and color, ignoring the other die this turn. Each player is going to wind up with 2 dice. So The foreman. Mimic one die another player drafted. I like that. Another architect. The endgame scoring. Endgame score 5 points for each color majority instead of 3. If you look on the sheets here, if you have the largest orthogonally connected group of a particular color, you get 3 extra points. This architect could get 5. That's kind of nice. Subcontractor. Reroll all dice remaining in the draft. That could be angering, so you might want to maybe sit near the door, or like a window or a balcony, maybe on like the second level, so you could just get about. You can make it your quick escape. And then the engineer, place a free purple square. I'll get into what those are in a moment. Those are referencing the cranes, which fill in a single square, but also can give you negative points, but it could be worth it based on what you're building to. So don't scoff at negative points. Sometimes you need negative points. Sure, it sounds negative, but it's not. It's fine. Negative points can come in handy, especially when they let you get more points. So those are the components. And then, of course, I mentioned you have the dice here, which let me make sure I represent each different color there. Oh, I'm forgetting one. Blue. Here we go. So those are the 6 different shapes. So you have yellow, red, purple. The purple does not correspond to the crane, even though I mentioned purple and crane before. Maybe just crane. Purple. The question mark just means any shape or color. People go for those first. People tend to go for those first. Orange, green, and then we have blue. So those are the dice. Explain how I'll use this as a pointer for pointing. It's been well sharpened, as you can see. This has been used, so I just want to point that out. Oh, get it? Point that out. All right. The number of dice being used also varies based on the number of players. So in a 2-player game, you use 5 dice. In a 4-player game, you use 9. In a 3-player game, you use 7. Because 1 die will always go unused. That's how the game works. Don't I mean? You talk to Zach and Rose. That's what they said. 1 die would always go unused. And you also would loop around. So the first player would roll, pick a die, and you go all the way through. The last person to pick their first die would pick their second die, and then you loop back around the opposite way. There is a term for that, and for whatever reason, it is escaping me. So here we are. So different sections of the board. So the crane here allows you to use, you would fill it in every time you use a single purple block. And there's numbers underneath the 5 spaces. Now cranes can be used 1 per round, but you can't use more than 1 in a round, like in a given drawing turn. And there's a 1, a 2, a 3, a 2, and a 1 underneath each space. Those are negative points. So the first time you use it, you lose 1 point at the end of the game, then 2 points, and 3 points, and 2 points, and 1 point. Makes sense? The tools here correspond to the different color numbers here. If you fill that space in with the color, you would get that number of points. If you fill this in with something green, cover this up with green, you get that point. Cover this up with something blue, 2 points. And 5 is obviously worth the most. If you complete this, additional 15 points. Nothing to scoff at. The placement rules are the foundation, or you have to be touching a previously placed shape orthogonally. So you can kind of defy gravity if you want, as long as what you have is touching something else is already there orthogonally, not diagonally, orthogonally. Then that's a legal placement. The level section here works like this. So if you look here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors in this row. This is supposed to be orange. I erred. So I have 4 different colors here. I would write 4 here. That's 4 points into the game. If I was the first person to complete this row, I would fill in this small triangle section here, giving me an additional point. So I did not do it first, so I only have 4 for this one. For the second row, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used a purple here, and I filled that in. So I put 5 there because I have 5 different colors in that row, and I was the first person playing to fill it in. So I filled that area in here. So this would really be worth 6 points. The areas that you're competing in, you're competing overall, but the areas where you're competing to do things first or have the most of is the color section and then the levels. Not so much to complete the levels, but to complete them first to get that additional notch, fill that in for an additional point. If multiple players fill in a level, a row at the same time or in the same turn, they both would get it. So, which that makes sense. How the colors work here is if you have the largest orthogonally connected grouping of an individual color, you would win. So for this game, I got 3 points because I had the largest section of red, I had the largest section of yellow, and I had the largest orthogonally connected section of blue. I didn't get orange, I didn't get green for obvious reasons. And that's pretty much how the scoring sheet works. Let me run you through a couple of turns, show you how the game works. I'm only gonna need 5 dice though. So, and 1 for good luck. As I said earlier, there is no solo mode. There is no official solo mode in the game, but you know, you got a Jurassic Park it. You know, you got to find a way. You know, and my recommendation is to
make a game of it.
What kind of game?
Well, for example, you could see how
many points you could score,
and then try to break that record.
So every player would get a crew member card. I'm not going to be filling in 2 different levels. I'll just pretend that this is the second player's. This is mine. I'll be second player's. So let's say I get this architect, which you really can't see. Okay, and the second player would get that particular. I got architect. My crew member is architect, so play a die for its shape and color. And the foreman here is mimic 1 die another player drafted. So I would go first. Let's see. So I rolled. You're gonna want to get those question marks. That's just, why would you not? So I'm gonna take that question mark. Second player, we get to draw 2 different ones because you loop back around. So let's say they are going to take these 2. And I'll take that one, and that one will just stay there. So how drawing on your sheet works is when you have the die, you're picking the shape of one, the color of another. The question mark can be any. So basically, I could have this shape in any color or any shape in yellow. Those are my options. Just like the second player theoretically could have this shape in blue or this shape in orange. That makes sense. I'm going to kind of be focused on trying to get some of these tools. So I want to have this shape, but in green, because if I fill this in, I color that tool up with green, which means I get that additional point at the end of the game. This whole thing is worth 15 if you do all of it. Take an additional point. And I also provided 4 different rows, a color using 1 space, which is efficient. You could do potentially 6 different colors up until you get to here, and then it's 4, 4, 3, 3, and then 2. Also, I should probably mention that the game ends when someone does not have the space to fit a shape in on their board. The game would come to an end. The player cannot legally place a block during a round. The game will end, and the other players will place their blocks, scoring if necessary. So if that person can't do anything, the game will end. Everybody else gets to score the shapes they do have as well, and then you go into the end game scoring. So there we go. So now the second player is going to pick first, and I'll pick twice. Roll these up. Oh, wow. Isn't that nice? So the second player is obviously going to pick the question mark, because why would you not do that? I get to do whatever I want. So I could do these 2, because I probably don't want the second player to have 2 question marks. That means they could literally do anything. Let me also mention this. If you roll the dice and over half of them have question marks, you have to re-roll. So the only real re-roll mechanic in the game is when you have more than half the dice are question marks. And I believe there's 1 crew member who can re-roll. This subcontractor can re-roll all dice remaining in the draft. Other than that, there really are no you can't really earn a reroll or anything like that. You got to figure it out and take what you got. And they're going to take that one. Okay, put this here. So I'm going to want to get this tool here because that gives me another 2 points. So I'm going to want to do this shape in blue. This is purple, but I can pick any color I want. So I'm going to do that shape in blue, filling that in just like that. Yay. All right. Which is very efficient. Like I said, getting those shapes in is key. So wait a minute, they went first. No, who went? They went first. I go first now. Okay. Wow, so many question marks. Beautiful. They're gonna get that one. They're clearly gonna get that one. Let's say they get that one, and I take this one. So I could do this shape in any color or any shape in green. I could, if I do any shape in green, I could work towards trying to have a nice, large, contiguous area of just green. But also means I'm sort of stunting what I'm able to do here. I don't know if I want to do that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this shape in red. So I'm going to fill this in like that, which also means I get those 3 points. And I forgot to fill this in the last round. So I filled in 3 of the 5 tools. All right, that's 6 points, 6 extra points I would get. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm doing this shape in yellow. I'm not sure why I started drawing in that, but I'm losing my mind here. And of course now it's green because yellow moon make green. So I know it's not really coming over well, but this is, I assure you this is yellow. All right, so I get to go first this time. I'm gonna choose that. They are probably going to choose choose that and that, and I'm gonna choose that. So I'm going to pick this shape in orange. So I'll do this shape in orange. I probably should have done it here, so I could have connected it to that, but I keep making mistakes, so why not just keep making them? All right, I chose first, so they're gonna go first this time. Trying to complete this row. Oh wow! If I do another line, I can complete 2 rows at once. Isn't that nice? Okay, so that's not working out. Wait a minute, who went first? I don't even remember who went first. I'm sure people watching are like, how do you not remember? Oh, I'm losing my mind. This is not what I wanted at all. I'll take that. And let's see, they take that. I'll take that. So that really means I'm doing this in red. That's, boy, am I. So I'm going to do this. So I'm building up towards getting the most of the red. So keep in mind, if I had another player here, or if I was playing, you'd be sort of seeing what they're doing and maybe making some tweaks based on what they're doing. Maybe some hate drafting. That's the thing. Keep in mind, if another player was actually playing, there'd be more hate drafting and things like that going on, because that's really a thing. I'm just going to keep going first because I don't know. Come on, give me a line. Yes. Okay, we got that. And I don't care what they do. Oh, yeah, I do actually. So they're going to do this. I'm going to get that. So I'm doing this shape in red. Okay. And now I completed two different rows. Let's say hypothetically I did it first. Let's count the row colors. We got blue, yellow, green, red, orange. That's 5 colors. And I did it first, so I fill that little area in there. So that's really worth 6 points. Let's go up here to this row. I have 1 blue, red, green, orange. That's only 4 colors. Let's say I did it first. I filled that in. Now let's say they did these other 2 first. I just couldn't. I can still get points for the number of colors I have represented in that row. I just can't fill in the notch to get an additional point for doing it first. And I also create a situation where I have 2 blocks that I'm going to have to use cranes on because there is no shape. That's just 2 blocks. So that probably wasn't the best move to make. I kind of boxed myself in. So it's going to be worth losing 3 points to, I guess, gain like 6 to 8 other points. So yeah, you got to make those trade-offs there. So that is the thing. So that is how Lots Filled In plays. It is a fun game. I really like Rolling Rights. This is one where it's an easy teach, easy to explain. It's quick. You know, you can play. What's their estimate here? 20 to 30 minutes. You might even be able to do it in like 15 maybe. Yeah, 20 is good. Actually, 20 is really good estimate. So that is Lots Filled In. It's up on Kickstarter. The link should be in the description below. If you like Rolling Rights, if you like hate drafting, dice, then this is for you. You want to piss off your friends, your family. I mean that's a personal choice. You do what you got to do. Build that building. If you build it, they will come and sit, unsafely on a girder. I mean, those references, to the picture. I'm just not noticing it's not actually a girder. It's a pencil they're sitting on. How did I never notice that? Anyway, I'm rambling. That is Lots Filled In. Very fun game. Very enjoyable. Very good roll and write. Pretty cool. So, like I said, links in the description. Check it out. Build something, piss somebody off, have some fun. Oh, I also never showed this. I probably should have shown, but well, anyway, you just use the power and flip it over and it's out of the game. So there's a lot going on here. So anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Share it with somebody who you like. Share it with somebody you don't like. Recommend it to somebody. I don't know. There's a lot of other videos you can see. They'll pop up on screen. But anyway, once again, thank you for watching. Take care. Stay safe. Be blessed.